Welcome to the Shekina Meditation Podcast, created by Shekina community members. Shekina communities are dedicated to creating free devotional spaces of Christian practice for spiritual seekers and travelers around the world. We post Christ-centered guided meditation each week to help you in your personal or small group practice. You can find episode show notes and other information at shekinacommunity.com.
Hello, this is Ro.
And this is Ray.
This is episode 87 of the podcast, and it's Wednesday the 9th of September as we record this in the garden in the heat of the afternoon.
A beautiful sunny day with light behind every branch and spilling through the green, illuminating everything.
It's gorgeous today.
Listeners, this podcast is supported by you. Because this podcast is about meditation, we want to keep it ad-free. Because ads are annoying when you're trying to meditate.
Exactly.
They're kind of opposites. Our beloved patrons at patreon.com support us for as little as $1 a month. You can find us at patreon.com/Shekina Meditation Podcast. That link is always in the show notes. And you can also support us by rating or reviewing us on iTunes. Or you can tell somebody about us. If you're finding that you really are enjoying listening, tell the guy that pumps your gas.
Yeah.
If you have that guy.
Yeah. Tell him.
Or tell the lady who's checking you out at the grocery store. Not checking you out.
Checking out your groceries.
Just checking out your groceries.
Yeah.
Or the lady who's checking you out.
Yeah.
Either way.
Tell them about the podcast.
Tell them about the meditation podcast.
A little shout out this week to Liz.
Yay.
Listening down the hill in Chiang Mai. And also to Zion, her little baby, who apparently was talking back to us when we were doing our introduction for last week's podcast.
Hi Zion, I hope you can hear us.
So cute. Hello.
Hello.
Nalak. So supporting this podcast helps to keep our Shekina communities running and free for travelers and spiritual seekers. And it helps us to know that you appreciate what we're doing and putting this little podcast out into the big wide world. Patrons, you're the best. You're like delightful nighttime rain, clearing humid air. We're at that time of year right now when it's super sunny in the day and the humidity builds and builds.
Yeah.
And sometimes at night we get a beautiful rain and it's very
clearing rain.
Delightful. It's a relief. Yeah. So you're like that.
You're like that. Thanks for clearing the humid air for us. How was your week, Ro? What have we been up to?
Well, we had a pretty full week, actually, didn't we? We Wednesday just gone, we did another emergency food delivery into a village. It was the first village, right, that you guys went to back in April?
April, yeah.
Yeah, way back. And the previous time you guys went, everyone kind of came to the
gate.
What's it called? Yeah, okay. Everyone came to the gate of the village to collect because the village was being very secure.
They were still closed. Yeah, they were like a lot of the villages around the valley chose their own closing. Yeah, so they would close to anybody who didn't live in the village. Yeah, nobody was allowed to come in during the early times of being kind of sort of in lockdown. Right,
but now things are lifted a little here, and so we were able actually this time to go house to house to 24 different houses. Yeah. Which was amazing. It's this beautiful village, not far from town actually, but just a gorgeous space. And we found the connections that we have there are quite good. Like we know some people who know the community really, really well. Yeah. So she was able to guide us to families that have someone there, an elder usually, who's maybe suffering in their health or living with a disability, and there was just a lot of people who were really in need that we were able to visit.
Yeah, and they were actually the same people that we were able to help the first time we went. So that felt like a good connection. We've been back. Yeah. Yeah. But it was also, we mentioned to each other that it was beautiful, and we went into a lot of spaces and saw a lot of people in their homes And it was hard because people have really suffered there. And so it was going from house to house where people, maybe they live just in one little space, and they can't get around very easily. They can't walk anymore, or so they've just got their little space, and thankfully their family's caring for them. But you could sense that there was real need and real suffering. So we were thankful to be able to help, and also just sit with people a little bit, and hope to continue connecting how we can, with these people particularly.
Yeah, it felt very warm, and everyone was very welcoming towards us, which was really lovely. And we just love that feeling of being a bridge between you guys and our traveler friends who are sharing some of their resources at the moment with us, to be able to buy these little packets of groceries, put them together, some fresh stuff and some, oil and soy sauce and things like that, and then share it with people. And we feel like when we make the little packets, they seem really little and they're not so big, they don't seem like they're going to make much of a difference. But then when we're giving them to people, people are so stoked, and I think it really does make a difference for them. It's beautiful. So thank you again for those of you who've given towards that. It really makes such a difference. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We also had community lunch this week for the very first time since March.
It's
since
been a
early
long while.
March. Like very early March. So that was wonderful to do something that felt so like familiar and good. It was sad in some ways because we miss a lot of people. We miss our dear ones, our other community members, and we miss other people that are stuck out of the country. But we just are doing what we have with what we have. And so because restrictions are quite lifted here right now, and because there seems to be a large degree of safety feeling in the community, it felt like a good time to host a lunch again. And there were about 30 people here. And it was, Chinua cooked vegan green curry, and it was really delicious. It was delicious, and a quiet, hot, sleepy afternoon, just sitting and being around each other and playing music. And that was lovely.
We ended up just kind of lazing against the walls and drinking chai and eating our cake and kind of dozing off a little bit. It was really sweet.
It was nice. It was good to start that again, and we'll do another one this week. So.
And it's also been your anniversary this week, right?
Yeah, yesterday.
Woo-hoo!
Yesterday was our 19th anniversary, Chinua and I. Woo! Yeah. So that's exciting, and we're going to head off for a couple nights.
Yay.
And which I'm very excited about. And I feel thankful. I feel really thankful to be here.
Beautiful.
In this space. 19 years later.
Yeah.
Well, today's episode is a Lectio Divina meditation on Psalm 37, verses 1 to 6. It's guided by Ro and recorded at Shekina Garden in Pai. So first, Ro will help you through some exercise, guide you through some things that will help you to come to a place of quiet in your mind and ready yourself for meditation. It's like a different state where you put aside the things from your day and kind of check in with your body, check in with your senses in order to come to a place of quietness. She'll guide you through that. And then she'll guide you through the verses with some different focus each time and a lot of space in between. And for the third part of the meditation, you can process how you like, depending on who you're with. If you're by yourself, you can journal or find a way to write it out in bullet points or record yourself. Just something that can kind of bring the experience deeper and kind of solidify it in your mind. And then if you're with a group of people, you can pass a talking stick or other object and listen to each other really well. Hear from each other's experience of what happened during the meditation.
Yeah, we find that to be such a beautiful and important part, just listening to each other and letting each other express and share. Let's begin. Welcome to Shekina meditation. Today, we have some work going on in the background in the garden today, so for those listening to the recording, our apologies. As we begin our meditation today, I just invite us to let our eyes close and draw our spine up nice and tall. Maybe rolling our shoulders a few times, just relaxing our body a little. Taking a minute to settle in and get comfortable where you are. Letting our attention come to our breath. Just breathing comfortably, normally. Noticing what happens in our body as we breathe. Noticing the rhythm of our breath. If this is a nice image for you, you might like to imagine you're floating in the ocean. As you breathe in, you're coming up gently over a wave. You crest the wave, and as you exhale, you're going down the back of the wave. And there's that little pause between waves, between breaths, before you go up again. Just enjoying that gentle rhythm. Perhaps noticing some other sensations in the breath. The feeling of the air rushing in and out of the nostrils. Feeling of our belly rising and falling, our ribs moving out and in. Just breathing. Now perhaps turning our attention to some other sensations we can notice in our body. feeling of gravity, our body's heaviness. The feel of our clothes on our skin. And these sensations of wind or heat or cool. Noticing where our body meets the mat, where our body is folded on itself. As we notice our body, if we are attentive to any areas that might be tight or sore today, see if we can release them a little. Feel free to take a little wriggle or stretch. That will help you get a bit more comfortable. Or perhaps sending the breath to that part of the body, and on the exhale, just releasing, if that's available to you today. The shoulders or the hips. Just letting our body relax a little further. Relaxing our jaw, our face. And turning our attention inward now. Towards our thoughts, our feelings, what's happening on the inside for us today. You might like to imagine that you're a small bird in the branches of a tree, looking down on a stream or a river, and that your thoughts are flowing by like a river. And you're just observing them from a little distance. So a thought or feeling might come to your attention. You can just notice it, being kind to yourself, not judging what's happening. Just noticing it and then letting it flow away. Noticing the nature of your thoughts and how they're coming to you today. Lots of small things, one big thing, coming quickly, coming slowly, just noticing, trying not to judge what we're noticing, but just seeing it.
And then letting it flow by like the river. Any things that are concerning you or troubling you today as we sit together? Just purposefully letting them float away. They don't need to bother us for this practice of meditation. We can draw our attention back to them once we've finished if we wish to. But for now we can just let them pass by. We might like to imagine flying up into the tree a little higher, so that we're just a little bit further away from that flow of thoughts. Perhaps they're concerning us a little less. Perhaps we're able to let them go, let them flow past. And then perhaps we can choose to fly to the very top of the tree, up into the canopy, so that the stream is totally out of sight now. And that all that is above us is a clear sky. If we find during the meditation that any of our thoughts are coming back to distract us, this is normal in meditation. If it works for you, you could come back to this image. Being a bird up in the top of the tree, with just clear sky above you, your thoughts flowing by below you in the river. As we turn now towards the text for our meditation, you might like to just take a moment to acknowledge the presence of God with us. You might like to turn our hands palm upward in our laps or on our knees as a sign of listening to the divine. Maybe a symbol of openness and receptivity today. We believe that these words from the sacred scriptures are special. They're alive in some way. They can speak to us. God can use them in a special way. So as we begin to listen to these words, maybe asking the divine to speak to us today through them. Our reading comes from the book of Psalms, Psalm 37. For this first reading, I invite us to look for perhaps just one word or phrase that might stand out for us today in a special way. Maybe approaching this text with a childlike curiosity, using our imaginations, playing with the images or the ideas, noticing how it makes us feel, diving deep into the words. Don't worry about the wicked or envy those who do wrong. For like grass, they soon fade away. Like spring flowers, they soon wither. Trust in the Lord and do good. Then you will live safely in the land and prosper. Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you your heart's desires. Commit everything you do to the Lord. Trust Him, and He will help you. He will make your innocence radiate like the dawn, and the justice of your cause will shine like the noonday sun. During the second reading, I'll read through each verse 2 times and then leave a couple of minutes silence between each one. I invite us to again ask the Divine to speak to us through these words. Perhaps seeking a phrase or a word that stands out. Perhaps asking the Divine to speak. Perhaps asking, why is it that I need to hear this today? Don't worry about the wicked or envy those who do wrong. Don't worry about the wicked or envy those who do wrong. For like grass, they soon fade away. Like spring flowers, they soon wither. For like grass, they soon fade away. Like spring flowers, they soon wither. Trust in the Lord and do good. Then you will live safely in the land and prosper. Trust in the Lord and do good. Then you will live safely in the land and prosper. Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you your heart's desires. Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you your heart's desires. Commit everything you do to the Lord. Trust Him, and He will help you. Commit everything you do to the Lord. Trust Him, and He will help you. He will make your innocence radiate like the dawn, and the justice of your cause will shine like the noonday sun. He will make your innocence radiate like the dawn, and the justice of your cause will shine like the noonday sun. This final reading, we might like to again be listening for what the divine would say to us. We might also feel like we can respond back to the divine. God already knows. God already knows our thoughts and our feelings. So God is a safe place to respond back to. Divine is welcoming us with love today and grace. So as I read this last time, you might like to respond back to God, your most honest or genuine response to these words. Or perhaps you might just like to let the words wash over you one last time. Don't worry about the wicked or envy those who do wrong. For like grass, they soon fade away. Like spring flowers, they soon wither. Trust in the Lord and do good. Then you'll live safely in the land and prosper. Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you your heart's desires. Commit everything you do to the Lord. Trust Him, and He will help you. He will make your innocence radiate like the dawn, and the justice of your cause will shine like the noonday sun. as we begin now to shift our focus from this part of our meditation, and as we soon draw our attention towards our talking circle, I'd like to invite us to consider, is there something from this experience of the meditation today that we want to bring into our life? Something we want to remember? Something we want to live out? Just noticing if something comes to mind. It's okay if nothing does. Just seeing if there's something that we want to bring with us as we move forward with our day. Slowly, and as we're ready, let's bring our attention back to the here and now. Prepare ourselves for the last part of our meditation, our sharing circle. We'll begin when everyone is seated with their eyes open.
Thank you for joining today. There will be a new guided meditation available each week, so don't forget to subscribe to iTunes or sign up for our newsletter to get podcasts delivered to your inbox at www.shekinacommunity.com/podcast newsletter. Also, you can rate or review on iTunes or sign up as a patron at patreon.com/Shekina Meditation Podcast. Have a beautiful week. Many blessings to you.